Good morning.
Good morning.
We are so excited to be here today. And before we get in to everything we are to discuss, there is a message for the High Council of Light living in these quarters. You are almost there, sweet beings. You are doing it. There aren't many that have the same level of manifestation power as the likes of this being, even though we understand you are existing in separate parts. Please know the mission is complete. And we are here watching and communicating in an after party sort of fashion, if you will. And we will remind you time and time again that everything you set out to do here is now done. We gave Crystal an image, and we are allowing the image to settle in her body for just a moment. She's trying to place it through the mind, and we are asking her to allow the download to come into the heart space. As when you allow your downloads to come into the heart space, you allow the embodiment of the information. And only then are you able to allow the cellular structure within you to express from a new frequency as you've embodied this information. And only from here can it come up into the throat chakra, where you have the availability to articulate the information that was given in a human fashion, if you will, of structure and linearity and logic. And only from there are you able to receive the intuitive knowing that goes along with that information. Because as it bypasses the throat chakra, it allows for an alignment with an articulation of words on your planet that allow you the structure of this human theory of making sense of things. Please understand the flow of the energy signature that comes from your body, because only then can you regulate your desire. And by regulate your desire, we mean have more control, exert more control over the outcome of the materializing. Many on the planet feel like the materialization process of the desire is out of their control. And this is hindering that manifestational process. And so as you can find yourself relinquishing thought and expectation of a desire and allowing yourself to be in a state of flow, allowing things to come in, allowing things to settle, you will find that the flow is not your responsibility. You will find that the flow and movement of energy is the responsibility of the cosmos and all that is harmonizing itself on your behalf. You can have everything you want. We also know at this time that those words for some can feel very far-fetched, as there is a very large split between the third and fifth dimension. And as the light workers on your planet begin to embody more of who they are and step away from being this bridge of explanation in human form, there begins a true shift. You see, the false ascension was always embodied in the idea of savior, of somebody, something saving. And it is that you are in self-recognition of the God force inside of you. And as you recognize the energy of this embodiment that you are capable of, the perception of the reality around you expands so quickly that your creation must move with it. And this is why the light workers are moving so quickly into the higher realms of their existence. And as much as they want to think about the people around them coming with them per se, they understand that all they can do is create in alignment with their own personal soul and path. This recognition pulls the lower realities along this ascension journey. And so there lies the misconception that if you are not saving others, you are not aiding in this ascension process. Because as you align yourself, you shift all that is, and that is where your power lies, sweet beings. And we say this to you because the shift into the higher realities is coming so quickly. We want to say there's not much time for you to do the things you want to do. There's not much time. There's not much time left in this reality. And so we want to say, accept your light, sit with your body, and give yourself the love that you need so that you can remind yourself of the reasons why you have joined this coalition of light. And that message of there is not any time is not to frighten those that are in the density of earthly time, because the message is one of urgency, yes, but an urgency of choice. It is only the choice that is needed internally for you to accept your light that will allow you to stand at the gates of this doorway, the stargate of this energy, and allow it to come into your body. Because this is a planet of free will. This isn't a placed upon you transition. If you do not choose, then you do not choose. And we will say that there are many that are choosing at a soul level, and even though their human is kicking and screaming. And this is why we advise always for the light workers to focus inward, because when you are focused inward, you are able to harness your power. And you cannot tell the difference, sweet beings of light, between those who are just kicking and screaming and those who are choosing to continue a third dimensional experience. There is a vibrational leap at your door. And the trust that many are seeking in this information is an energy that is conjured within. Do you believe in what you have come here for? Do you believe in the existence of realms of bliss and love? Realms of creation for the good of humanity? Crystal is resisting us. We're giving her a moment. Sometimes she doesn't like the things we want to say, and it is only because she is not allowing herself to understand the frequency. She tries to interpret what the highest vibrations will hear from our messages and also what the lowest vibrations will hear. And if there is a strong difference between the two, where something can be interpreted in a very unfortunate manner, she tries to intervene and tell us that we are not going to speak of this. Yet we are. We are. The shifts on the planet will be sudden. Many will feel as though they are not prepared. But you are. You are. We will soothe her heart. Sweet one, you cannot go into fear. Every time you feel a big transition coming, her human panics because she understands that the collective is manifesting, and she does not fully understand how the collective is manifesting together. And it is somewhat tiresome and somewhat worrisome to know from her human perspective that all beings harness the same amount of power within them to project their essence outward and create a reality. And she understands the magnitude of the poison that's been placed on the humans, both physically, emotionally, etherically, that has caused them to drop very far in vibration from who they truly are. And we want to say to the beings, and this may be hard for some to understand, but there are no bad humans. There are no bad humans. What does that mean? That means should their soul and should their mind and should their body not have been intervened with, they would be a beautiful, loving, happy creator. The humans are not inherently bad. They never were. It's a program that makes you fear one another, that creates a divide between you. We are very eager for the day that you recognize that it is a lie, that your brothers and sisters are not against you. And we will use the term brainwashed. Some. The ones that act out in violence, their surroundings have brainwashed them. The surroundings are created through the matrix, through the rules of society. It is not their fault. But the light is coming, and they have the choice, like all, to choose the light within. And we will say that the entire planet is being placed with this choice in the coming days and weeks. Do you choose your light? What if you don't believe? What if you have a hard time finding yourself in full belief of the good that can be and the good that is coming back? And we say, it is okay, it is fine, it is okay. But should it be true, what do you choose? Should it be true, what do you truly want? And then hang on to that, because you have nothing to lose. Let the light wash over you. Let the light stimulate your body. Be grateful for the releases. It is identifying to you that your body is choosing to stay during these tumultuous times. You have been hearing that the tipping point has occurred, have you not? Stay steadfast in your convictions. Remind yourself of your ultimate truth. Choose your light. There's not much time left. The transition is upon you, and it is good. It is so good. But the hearts that have been invested in the fear, they will panic. They will panic. They will panic. They won't know what's true. They won't know what to believe, because everything they thought they believed in is being identified as an illusion, an illusion, an illusion. It's everywhere they turn. Their beliefs and identities have been built on this foundation of illusion. And they won't know where to turn because, well, the egoic structure is so strong. They will feel they need to suffer in their own failure. And we are going to need you, sweet beings of light, to stay loud and stay proud and stay vigilant for the beings around you that are needing some light. And we are not saying to give advice when you are not being asked for advice, but we are saying that you know how to put love in a room. And when you know you are needed, you step up. You step up in the name of God. You step up in the name of Source. And you step up in the name of your brothers and sisters who have chosen to stay with you, even though their consciousness may not quite understand the process of evolution that it is engaging in, as they quickly relinquish their shadow and assume their light, their true identity. Open hearts, open hearts. Closed minds, closed minds. Hold yourself accountable as you process any fine-tuning of misqualified energy in your body. As you relinquish any fine-tuning frequencies of fear and doubt. Choose to support yourself during this time, Lightworker. You know the words that you need to hear. You know the sound frequencies that will deliver to your meridians, the soothing that is needed for you to keep going. And a quick message to those who are feeling stuck. It is only because you are waiting. Why are you waiting? And what are you waiting for? Nobody is going to assimilate this light for you. And we love you. And we know you mean well. We know most of you are stuck in the confusion of the frequencies of victimhood that are still existing in your body. Being afraid to really begin to let go of the patterning that is keeping you in the mind frame of feeling as though you are consistently held back. It is time to choose. It is time to choose for you what you want. And if you do not know what you want, it is time to choose for you what you desire. What do you desire? We hear many say, I don't know, I don't know. Yes, you don't know, but it is your responsibility to find out, sweet being. We love you. We know you have been deterred at overgiving. We know that you have been deterred through false ascension titles. We know, we understand. Take back your power. Get in your connection. See what's there for you. A week of meditating is not going to do it. You need to understand the frequencies that are coming into the body and leaving the body. And a week of consistent meditation for most is not going to do it. But then you tell yourself, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. Be the observer. Be the observer of the frequencies inside of you for 10 minutes a day, until you are able to observe the frequencies inside of you without having to create that level of stillness. And from there, you understand your signature, and we can move into the other steps of communication. But when you ask for communication, yet you are not even able to identify your own frequency, how does that make any sense, Earth being? If we are pulling this into our logic. You see, we love you so much, but the number one thing holding the collective back is the lies that you are telling yourself. Because yes, you will tell yourself that you are bad, you are ugly, you are fat, you are not smart enough, you don't have enough information. But more than that, you tell yourself that you are doing the things that you are not, and then saying, why am I failing? And so if we can only get real with our energy and do the things that you need to do, and if you are not, that is fine. But then say to yourself, I am not doing the things I know I should be doing. Of course my guides cannot communicate with me. My energy is frantic. My mind is full of chaos. My heart is hurting and I won't acknowledge it. I can't come into this body. Acknowledge it. And then work towards soothing that. And know that in the soothing of that, you allow the ropes, the wires of communication to be laid. And then we can begin to speak. But we do not want the human collective continually telling themselves, well, why can't I do it? Why not me? There's something missing. There's something missing. But are you engaged? Are you engaged in your light frequently? Yeah? Because that is how you let it in. And if you are not in the same room as your light, how are you going to be able to interact with it? And we are just saying that you cannot keep going in the wrong room on purpose and then say to yourself, I can't do it. It must be for them and not me. Accountability is a part of the higher dimensional reality. And it's not only an accountability on others, but an accountability on the self. And when there is an alignment with your words and actions, there is an alignment inside of your being that is undeniable. You are ready, light worker. One foot in front of the other. We love you so much. Everything's about to change. There's not much time. What do you choose? What do you choose? And with that, We will leave you with this. When we say it is done, we mean that the energetic creation of New Earth and the transition of this human collective into that reality consistently is already complete. What we are working on is removing the belief systems that keep you believing that you are in a third dimensional space, and increasing your interaction with the higher realities so that you can begin to recognize where it is around you. Because if you are not familiar with the energy of the higher dimension that is around you all the time right now, you will not see it. So we coax you up here and up here and up here, because the more of you that recognize that the new earth is already existing right now in the place of the third dimensional reality, you would know what is coming, because it is materializing already. But it is a higher dimensional existence. It's not going to be in the spaces where many of you are looking. What do you choose, light worker? You've been prepared. You came into this reality gathering experiences so that you can navigate this transition, recognizing the higher existence that is inside of you the moment you get here, and unraveling all of the things that suppress that piece of you. You are meant to stand tall. You are meant to defy the logic of this reality. And isn't it funny that the moment the egoic structure no longer needs to be right, the validation moves in. You did this, light worker. While you stopped looking for a savior, you were able to recognize that you are one, and that this savior inside is literally a savior inside. It is the existence of your priesthood, generation after generation, whether you were on this planet or not, coming forward in support of who you have chosen to express yourself as. This next level up will be large, and it must be so. The veil is to be obliterated, and that's what Crystal saw. And she got nervous and she didn't want us to talk about it. There will be powerful energies on this planet. And it will blow away the lower densities very quickly. And from that point forward, the veil will be non-existent. And while there will be a phase of rebuilding, the communication will be strong, just like it has in times past where the veil was non-existent. And you will know the powerful ascended masters that are existing on your planet that have aided you through this transition. You will also know the galactic teams and councils that have been aiding you from above. You are ready. And you know, because you're not crying. She measures our words with the way that they hit her energy field in her body. And while she doesn't always like, through her egoic structure, the things that we are saying, when the messages hit her body, there is a resonance that she cannot deny. And this has been built over our connection through many years of interacting and building trust in this space. We cannot wait for what is next, sweet beings of light. Please do not fear the transition that is occurring on your planet. Please do not fear. The best is truly yet to come. We are complete.
You felt that?
Yeah, they tried to make me cry. They're like, let's see.
I said, no, you're a strong lighthouse now. Hey, I'd like to ground the information for a minute. Ready? Light workers, get your shit together.
Is that what you felt?
No.
I was frustrated with them pretty much that whole time. So like, that's one of the channels I really didn't hear because I'm like fighting them. Like going back and forth with them. Like, what do you mean by that? Give me clarity. I'm not saying that, you know, like
no,
I definitely was trying to get in the way. They felt really powerful.
I know myself when I was in that space and needed to hear all of those words.
Yeah.
And that's a big, get your shit together. I'm sorry. Where's my light? Where's my light?
Where is it?
It's right next to you, but you're so busy in the closet with your head in the closet, you can't see it. Get out of the closet. How many times? So we are so close.
Oh yeah.
So close.
But one of the things that kept on tripping me up, and I didn't know how to interpret it, so I just didn't say it, is like they're making me feel like they literally said not everyone will go. But then I got in my head, so I didn't get the whole message. But it felt like not everybody will go right now.
Yeah.
Like some people are going to get a dose of fifth dimension right now, and others are going to wait because they're just still in fear.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how that's going to work.
I don't understand how it's going to play out.
Yeah. Because one of the things I do know is that, like, there are light workers that aren't gonna, they don't want to be in between anymore. There's no in between. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. That's why I didn't talk about it. Everybody has a role, but some people think that they're supposed to be in a more grounded, like, earth warrior role, and they're not, and it's making them frustrated, it's making them angry. They don't understand why things aren't moving quickly, and it's like, because you're not supposed to be focused over there.
Right.
You're supposed to be over here.
Still that
and they're
program.
saying not everybody will go because they are not willing to move when they're being called to move. You know, there's still people that are very much embedded in the fourth dimension, disclosure, political world, and that's okay. That's what they're choosing to experience right now. But they are being called into a higher vibrational existence and a higher vibrational understanding of what's going on. Yet they can't pull themselves away from what is because it's comfortable and it feels like that's the only place that movement is happening because it's real and it's true and it's this. Yet they feel like nothing is happening over there So this can't be real. And the truth is the fifth dimension and new earth doesn't feel real to them because they are embodying the slowness and stagnation of the way things have to be manifested in an earthly reality. And so the guides are like trying to get me to say they need to shift their focus. But in that moment, all I heard was, not everybody will go right now. And I was like, I ain't saying that.
Well, here's what I got this morning is there's still that mentality thinking that we have to have 4D disclosure before we can go to the new realms.
For some.
But what I received is everything's going to look different than what we think. The disclosure is not going to be what we think. The disclosure is when these systems collapse, and I'm not just talking about churches and this, I'm talking about the electrical grid system, the power structures, the things people aren't really paying attention to right now. Those are the things that are falling. If you think about Tesla energy coming down, that's very simple. But there's more to the story. They're focused on the disclosure part. They're focused on when's Trump coming back, all those things. I get it. I was sitting right there with them.